Hey guys, it's me. I finally made it to Oregon. I came out of Twin Falls, Idaho, stayed there overnight for one night and did some laundry. Had to do some cleaning up. It's a good place. I stayed and had opportunity to get some stuff caught up and get some things done and hit the road. And I got notes here, so I won't forget. I won't forget. So if you see me looking down, it's because I want to try to make sure I get everything correct. And I'm saying that as I came across to Oregon here, I followed 20, and it's a two-lane highway. Basically, went through the mountains, and man, it was just beautiful. Went through the mountains and saw a lot of good scenery up and down. I'll put some pictures on for you there. Ended up getting on 97 in Oregon and ended up in Lapine, around Lapine, Oregon, and found a KOA campsite. Yes, a KOA, but again, you got to shower, you got to clean up, and it's in the Umpqua National Forest. I hope I said that right. And it's on Lemon Lake, Lemalo Lake, Lemolo, Lemalo Lake, and it's just beautiful. The campground is nice. The people are nice. I have to give the kudos to the campground here, the KOA on Lemalo Lake. The people are just fantastic, and it was a good trip. A lot of miles, put a lot of windshield miles in, a lot of driving, but I ended up coming across, and when I saw that Oregon sign, it was an emotional moment, really. I really have never been to this part of this country, and this is one of the bucket list dreams to hit Oregon, Washington. I covered a lot of them across the Route 66. That was cool, but to come up here and to finally put together that dream of covering all 50 states, it was an emotional moment. It was one of three emotional moments. The first one was that, and the second one, I called my mom. I usually try to call her at least twice a week, and she's one of my biggest supporters. And a few years back, she had a real bad stroke, and I thought we were going to lose her at that point, and it was pretty bad. It was a scary time for all of us, and she came out of it. She worked real hard at rehab and came out of it, and she's doing well. She's doing a lot better now. And as I talked to her on the phone, we were talking back and forth, and she told me how proud she was of me and how happy she was that I was being able to do this journey. And it just got me. Then the part that really got me was when she said, she's taking this trip through my eyes too. So that was cool. I mean, that was pretty wild. Yeah, that got me. And if I can do that, like I said, that was the main purpose of this whole trip, was to pass on this experience to family and friends that wanted to kind of keep in contact with me, and hopefully that's what it's done. The second, or that was the second. The third was just being in this area. I liked the desert. I enjoyed the desert. It was fun. We had a good time there. I did, and especially visiting Caitlin. But the dry and the mountains. The mountains are beautiful and that. But when I got here and all these luscious pine trees and mountains, it felt like home to me, because myself and my brother-in-law Mark and Amy, because she's my travel partner and my best friend, but my brother-in-law Mark, he and I would go to Wyoming. We spent a lot of time in Yellowstone around Cody, and I bet we've got 10 years there on pack trips. So we would take a pack trip out into the mountains and camp and stay for days on end on horseback, and that was fun. And he and I have done a lot of traveling, a lot of hunting, a lot of fishing. We started going up into Canada, and once we got into Canada, the familiarity here with Canada is kind of the same. The pine trees and that. And Mark, he's my brother-in-law, but he's really my brother. I love him like a brother. And as a matter of fact, when I first met Amy, before I even asked her dad if I could have her hand in marriage, I asked him, and he hit me with this big wrench because he owns like a automobile shop. No, I'm just kidding. He probably wishes he did now, but no, I got his permissions first, and that tells you how much respect I have for him, and it's good. And then to not have Amy here with me in this environment, because this is right up her alley, it's kind of emotional, but it'll work, and we hopefully can repeat our Canadian trip. You know, I think COVID got us earlier. We had planned. I think this is the second year that we're waiting to do the trip up there. And again, it's beautiful with this lake and with the evergreens, but also it's bringing back those memories and going to Canada with Mark and Amy and Ron and Kathy. And Ron and Kathy, as you know, family, you guys know them, but if you don't know them, they are two of the most wonderful people in the world. I mean, they're fun, they're energetic, we laugh, we joke, we kid around, and I want really to repeat that this year. Hopefully we can get back to that. So that's the three things that were emotional on my side, and I really just unbelievable trip. I mean, just unbelievable. Things are working well with the Jeep. I've probably used 70% of the stuff I have, and it's all worked out. It's all worked out well. The other 30% that I got, I can't find it, so it's got to be there somewhere. I haven't used everything, but I didn't use my winch. I didn't need that. But as I was driving in, I was looking off the trails and stuff for maybe some dispersed camping or something like that. And I saw some of the trails still snow covered. You know, some of the trails going back has got a foot or so of snow in it. So I didn't venture down that way, but I did notice that. And then I'm going to put pictures on with some of the mountains here, the mountaintops. I'll put those on in the beginning of the video, and you'll see that once you see those, you understand how much snow they still have. So I've had a blast so far. Everything's working well. I have to commend Amy for she's my concierge back home. She plots everything and helps me with campsites or locations or where I'm going to be next. Also, she's working on Meet Me in Spokane, and that is going to be fantastic. I haven't seen her for a couple weeks, and that's going to be a good deal because she has heard Mark and I talk about Lolo Pass, and we're going to hit Little Spokane, and we're going to come down through Lolo Pass and end up over in Missoula, Montana, and from there she'll fly back. But she's going to spend some time with me, and we're going to do the Lolo Pass, and that's one of the places that is on a bucket list. I've been there, but I want to return, and the reason I want to return is because I want to return and camp alongside the river there. Beautiful. If you never had the opportunity to visit that location, that's fantastic. So she's going to come do that. We'll do that, and then I'll continue on. In the meantime, tomorrow I think I'm going to leave here, and I'm going to head out over to Coos Bay on the coast. I'm going to do the Highway 101. Make that trip up north, probably up into Washington, and work my way over to meet her in Spokane in a couple weeks. But I mean, it's going to be a tough one because Amy and I love seafood. I mean, we just love seafood, and I imagine there's going to be some pretty good seafood restaurants along the way. So it's kind of funny because it reminds me of my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. We went to Maine with them. And we would stop at every lobster pound, every lobster restaurant, every side street lobster. It didn't matter, lobster food truck. We stopped there and have lobster. And my brother-in-law, he's allergic to shellfish at the time and fish in general. And so we would have this lobster, and we were sitting there eating lobster, and poor guy ordered a cheeseburger, and he had a cheeseburger there, and he ate that. And I think it got to him to the point because when we got back a few months later, he went back to his doctor and checked, and lo and behold, he wasn't as allergic to it as he thought. He could start eating lobster and could shellfish in that fashion. I don't think he's still allergic to fish, but the shellfish and the lobster he's good with. So he's making that up now, I'm sure. kind of catching up with the times that he missed. And I honestly, I felt bad for him a little bit, but lobster, But no, it's a good thing. So I look forward to doing that, and I look forward to heading up north and seeing that country. Other than that, everything seems to be okay. Everything seems to be working well. There's a little frustration in the fact that the camping now with the state parks is just crazy. Usually that's Memorial Day weekend when that breaks out. But now, if you're going anywhere, you might well plan way, way ahead to get reservations, because that's where I'm having a little frustration, is trying to find reservations. And I kind of wanted to hit the state parks and the natural, the forest around, so that I could do some of the dispersed camping. But man, it's hard to come by. Seriously, I mean, if you're thinking about it, you might want to plot it out really, really well before you take and make that leap, because that's the hardest part about the travel. Getting from point A to B is not an issue. It's just the fact that by the time you get on the internet and you try to find everything's on the internet now. The old days you used to be able to pull up to the park, go up, register, get a campsite, and go. And now you got to get on I think I've got every state's DNR on my iPad for as far as their apps to get a place. Then that's the hard part. So if you're planning on doing that in the future, you might want to step that up a little bit now. So other than that, I was a couple days shy on videos, but I wanted to wait to put some stuff together, and today's just a good day for that. A good day for Sunday to put that together. And speaking of Sunday, I was with Caitlin and we attended church. I don't know. I lose track of time. That's good. I lose track of time. And I think maybe it was a couple weeks ago, or maybe been 3. I don't know. That Caitlin and I went to church, and I put a video up on that about her church and about visiting with her. That was really cool. But I haven't been able to attend brick and mortar church for a while, but I will say this about that, Mark Pope, Pastor Pope, that I am attending the church. I found a real good church, and it's God's Nature Church, and it's pretty awesome. It's working pretty well. So be more than glad to get back to the brick and mortar and the friends and family and friends that I have there. But until then, I'll spend time out here in God's creation. So with that, I think that's a good way to end. And I hope everybody's well back home. I hope everything's going fine for you. And everybody, enjoy yourselves. Summer's coming up, and it's time to kick back and enjoy. So I will probably put together some stuff for the East for when I'm out on the coast up 101. I know I will. I'll put some stuff for you. Then I think when Amy comes in, we'll try to concentrate on Baby Girl. I want to put up a video on what I've gotten that. I've promised to do that, and I keep slipping, but I really want to find a good spot where I can put everything out and do a good descriptive video. So with that, like we say, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.